My name is Suleiman. I'm from San Diego, California. I am the owner of Ruthless Digital, a premier Google Ads agency for e-commerce businesses. We work on a pay-for-performance basis, which means that we simply charge a percentage of the revenue we generate. And today, in this video, I will be showing you and articulating when not to use Google Ads for your business. Simply, when is Google Ads not sufficient for your business? What factors to look into before deciding whether to use Google Ads as a major advertising channel for your company, and a whole lot of other things. So let's begin. Let's get straight into it. So first of all, you should not use Google Ads if you do not have an adequate budget. So now how can we determine what is an adequate budget? What you can do is go to Google Ads Keyword Planner. So you just go to Google Ads. Once you're at the website, you go to Tools and Settings, and then you go to Keyword Planner, and then you type in keywords related to the business you own and the services and products you're selling. And from there, you look at the bids. There will be a low bid and there will be a high bid. Take the average of those and decrease that by 25%, and that's how much it approximately costs per click. So let's say, the high bid is $20 and the low bid is $10. So that's a $15 average. Decrease that by 25%, and you're looking at right about there, so about 12. So $12 cost per click. You need to be able, at absolute minimum, be able to afford 500 clicks. So if you were doing it for a product of a $12 CPC, you need at least 6 grand, 6,006,000 in this particular scenario in order to adequately advertise using Google Ads for that business. Now, why? Every 100 clicks on average, you should get about 2 conversions, depending on what you're selling, your unique selling proposition, the price of your product, and a whole plethora of other factors. It may vary. It could go as high as 6% of people convert and as low as 0.5. Again, depends on the product and service you're selling. So you need to factor in your traditional conversion rate, and you have to see for every 100 clicks you get, how many people are purchasing your product or service. On average, it's going to be 2. So let's use that as a rough estimate. Some people think if they spend exactly enough money for 100 clicks, they'll get 2 people. Again, this is not some mathematics formula. This is just a general broad statement. People are people, and it's not necessarily guaranteed that you get a purchase for every 100 clicks. So that being said, you need about 500 clicks to collect sufficient data in order to be able to assess whether Google Ads is working for you or not. So simply figure out how much you're paying cost per click on average for the services or products you're selling. If you cannot afford 500 clicks, then do not use Google Ads. Simply enough, that will save you a lot of time. That will save you a lot of money. Don't go in with the expectation that you can dollar and haggle your way into success. More often than not, it just leads to more strain on your business. If you are short on budgets, just focus on whatever is working right now and then go from there. If nothing's working, then I don't know how to help you, candidly. Secondly, do not advertise using Google Ads if you do not have a unique selling proposition. You absolutely need a unique selling proposition unless you're the first or second mover in a market. The more competitive a market is, the more imperative it is to have a very strong, unique selling proposition. If you don't have a convincing reason in 1 to 2 sentences that a potential prospect could understand why to buy your product or service compared to your competitors, you do not have a unique selling proposition. And most people go, well, oh, we're the cheapest. That's not a USP. You need something else. Oh, we have free shipping. Besides the furniture industry or something that requires a lot of money for shipping, that's not a USP either. There needs to be something unique about the product inherently that could convince a person to buy it solely based off those attributes. If you do not have a unique selling proposition and what you're advertising for, what you're competing for in Google Ads is competitive, I absolutely do not recommend you use Google Ads. Third, in regards to saturation, the more saturated your business, your industry, your niche is, the more you need a unique selling proposition and the stronger it needs to be. So if you're doing something like personal injury attorneys, you absolutely need to have a convincing reason on why to choose you as a personal injury attorney compared to all the other lawyers out there. And it cannot be price related. So That's a very competitive industry I just named. You need to think in your own words, what is your unique selling proposition? If you do not know, pause this video and figure it out because this is one of the most important things as a business owner. In my case, as a Google Ads agency, we go on a commission basis. So we only charge a percentage of the revenue we generate. That is our unique selling proposition. It's not related to price, it's how we charge the price. So it's a little different and it works very well because it's very unique. Fourth, you need to have a very strong AOV, LTV, and you need to have the ability to acquire customers to support the former two. And you need a very strong net profit margin. Really, you need an average order value more often than not, 7 to 8 times out of 10, and AOV at least over $50 at absolute minimum. Ideally, 60 to 75 and above, but at minimum, you really want your products or services to be valued at $50 at minimum. From there, you need a lifetime value. Well, it's not necessary, but it's extremely beneficial. If you have a very strong LTV, you will dominate with Google Ads. You'll destroy your competitors and you'll make a lot of money. However, if you don't, you'll most likely struggle. So, for example, you want an LTV that's at least 2 times your AOV at absolute minimum. This is an ideal case. You want 2x your AOV. So if your AOV is $50, you want the customer to spend at minimum in total over the lifetime value of a customer at least $100. From there, you need your net profit margins to be at least 30% minimum. If you do not have at least 30% minimum net profit margins, it's very difficult to succeed using Google Ads. You'll be using razor thin margins, which nobody likes. It's unnecessary, it causes a lot of headache. So you want strong net profit margins. If you do not have strong net profit margins, you need to figure out how to reduce operating expenses or how to increase the price of your product by either clearly showcasing and displaying the product's value or creating a new offer. So keep these things in mind. If you do not have these four things I just listed down, a strong AOV, LTV, you don't have the ability to support a high customer acquisition cost, and you don't have a high net profit margin, absolutely do not use Google Ads. Just save yourself the money, save yourself the time. It's better for everybody. And then finally, but not last in terms of importance, you absolutely need a realistic timeline. You cannot just turn on Google Ads one day and expect to become the millionaire, playboy business model, business entrepreneur of the century, right? You have to be willing to wait 30 to 65 days. 45 days is on average what I say for clients. If you're not willing to wait 45 days, then just don't do Google Ads. This is not me trying to be rude. This is what I talk to agencies all the time that are huge and that do this for a living. They say the same thing. I found the same thing to be true anecdotally. 45 days is the timeline to be successful with digital marketing. If you try to do things faster, you'll either need more budget, but even then, 45 days is a very good standard time, regardless of your industry. Now, if you're in B2B, like you're selling business to business services, your customer like the ability to onboard a customer might take a lot longer. It could be several months. It could be even longer, right? The sales cycle can be a lot longer in B2B. So in B2B, I would be going upwards of 60 days. You might be looking at 60 to 120 days. But for B2C, which is e-commerce, you're probably going to be looking at 45 days. And yeah, I mean, these are the things you need in order to be successful with Google Ads. If you do not have these things, I don't recommend you do it. If you do have these things, I do recommend you do it. And if you do have these things, I'd highly recommend you schedule a call below and you get on board with us, Ruthless Digital. We'll help you make a lot of money using Google Ads on a pay for performance basis because this is what we do best. Thank you and God bless.